Hey gamers, so I wanted to make this video for quite a bit now, which is a vlog type video, because I have been dealing for quite a while now with trolls, and I know the first thing about the internet is that always expect trolls and don't give trolls attention, but I just gotta bring it up, especially because today, as I'm recording this, I had another experience with a troll. Yay! So yeah, let's just get right into it. So I don't know why, ever since I started my channel, really, I've dealt with some trolls, to varying degrees. And I think part of it is because of the fact that I, have autism, and I make it clear that I have autism. My channel's name is Autistic Gaming. I make it very public, and I try to make it public because I think it's an important topic to talk about. A lot of people, especially gaming creators that have autism, kind of like keep it on the down low. Nathaniel Bandy is one person who's autistic, and he keeps it down low, and while I respect them for doing that, I think it's important to address and talk about autism and, be proud of it, while talking about what you're otherwise doing, that being gaming, but because of that, people like to make fun of me because of that. I've dealt with this a couple of times where people, say things like, oh, I'm acoustic, which is like a bad term like for autism. Sometimes they ask if I'm really autistic, which isn't that harmful in the grand scheme of things, but at the same time, it is like, my channel is named Autistic Gaming. Why would I lie about that, like, oh my god. But really, those things are minor when it comes to some other stuff, which is people being very pussy and kind of overwhelming me, and sometimes I don't blame those people for doing that, because my boundaries are different than other people, than maybe even other autistic people. My boundaries, I try to make them clear as possible that, hey, you're kind of overwhelming me, or you're kind of asking inappropriate questions, can we not? But sometimes people keep asking them. And that's what happened today, where a guy I banned, if you saw my Xenoblade X live stream that I did recently, it was like a 5-hour stream, though most of my Xenoblade X streams are 5 hours. But towards the end, a guy came in who said that I banned him, and I did ban him. I banned him a little bit ago, because of the fact that he was asking very personal questions that I told him, please don't. And those questions were relating to Maya, which was the girl I was talking to for quite a while. He brought her up, and along with another guy, how, they were asking me a lot of stuff, about her, along with just straight up bad-mouthing her, and, many other things about her where I don't feel right doing that, I kind of had like a bad experience with Maya. I talked about this in videos, but overall, I don't think she's to blame like fully, I think I was to blame too, but they didn't like what my take on that, and also they just asked a lot of other, deeper personal stuff, and I told them no, stop talking about it, and they kept doing it, so I decided to ban them after the stream was done. And he came back with a new account, one of those people, and first of all, they said how they donated a lot, and they did. They donated, I don't even know how much, like maybe less than $50 in total. They claim they donated like $100 overall on my channel. That's not true. But it was a decent amount. I will give them credit. They did donate a decent amount. But just because you donate does not mean you're like absent from, following the rules of my channel or any other people's channel, and it doesn't help the fact that a lot of the things he donated were kind of bordering on the edge of like, really. Some of them were like, oh, I'll donate $1 if you eat this thing while sitting on the toilet, or something like that. That was like one example, like it's just basically, I thanked him for those donations, but that does not give him the right to be exempt from bans, and I tried to make it clear that I appreciate it, and he was instead going on about how he's gonna do a chargeback on his debit card or credit card or whatever. Which one, you can't really do that on YouTube. At least it's very hard to like do a chargeback. And two, even if you do that, I saw something that was like 60 days or whatever, and it's been way longer since he donated. It's way past 60 days, and also he talked about perma banning my PayPal, which he never donated on PayPal, so I don't know what he was on about, and again, maybe I shouldn't be addressing this, but I just feel like, I just gotta talk about it because yes, it's annoying. I do find it annoying, and I've had to deal with this other times too, with other people asking inappropriate stuff or bombarding the chat with alternate accounts, asking stuff like, why did you ban me, blah blah blah, or they say slurs or whatever. I've dealt with this before, and it is annoying, but I have learned to deal with it much more, now, compared to back then, where I was kind of like, I kind of shut down, and to some extent I do kind of shut down still, but I try to hide it more. But when I was first getting this stuff, like I remember some of my first like hate comments like on a live stream was in like live number 20 something, where I was playing Breath of the Wild. I just basically shut down in that live stream. I did not talk. They started talking about uncomfortable stuff on the stream. I didn't really have the voice to like say stop it. Coincidentally, that also featured that same guy I was just talking about, that appeared today. And all that long time ago, he was there making me uncomfortable. But yeah, him and someone else, I kind of felt like uncomfortable in that live stream. I've dealt with it more so when I get uncomfortable. But I'm still working on it, but I think I've gotten way better, and yes, it's hard, but I try my best to, be positive and, be honest with myself. Maybe sometimes it's to a fault, because, I share my true self and people see that sometimes it's being weak, being too emotional, but that's just who I am, and I like myself, and I know some of you guys like me too for the way I am and for who I am. And if some people don't, then whatever, I don't really know what I'm saying with this like video. I just wanted to like address it, kind of sort of, the trolls. I'd be like, you're wasting everyone's time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting the viewers' time that watch the streams or videos or whatever. You're wasting my time. You're wasting everyone's time. Why bother trolling me when I only have 1,500 like subscribers? I'm not that big of a channel. Why do you care? Is it because of, that I make my autism known? If so, okay. Like, it's just part of who I am. I can't change that. So, screw you, I guess. Like, why do you care, I just don't understand trolls. Not to mention with the fact that when they keep watching, they're still giving me attention. They're still giving me watch hours. They're still, if they comment something, they're still giving me engagement. So you're literally making me succeed by, continuing to watch or comment or whatever, So if you don't want me to succeed, why keep watching? I don't know why you would waste time. Your time, my time, everyone's time. Why would you waste time, doing this, creating alternate accounts, coming back, because I just keep banning you again and again. Why? I really don't see the logic. If you're banned, fine, just give up. Like it sucks. Maybe you think it was wrong or whatever, but why try again? And if you keep getting banned, why keep trying? I don't know. I just find it so, oh my god. But yeah, the trolls, I've been dealing with them for quite a bit now. There was also another experience that involved with Maya, where it seemed like someone in this community tracked her down and kind of like harassed her or whatever, which is not right. Even if you have a bad experience with someone, that does not give you a right to harass them, especially if you're not even directly involved in the situation. Like, you shouldn't harass anyone in general, but if you weren't directly involved, why would you get involved? Like, oh my god, just focus on yourself. why care about what other people's thoughts are, their reasonings for things? Like, you shouldn't, that's just life in general. I just don't understand it personally. But they will keep coming, and I'm sure this video will also help bring in more trolls. It feels like every couple of streams I get some trolls in my chat on a live stream, and it's annoying, but I deal with it. It kind of does ruin the stream because I tried to be fun. I tried to have a good time, but it does ruin it, to be honest with you. But, I just got to try harder to ignore them. And I've been doing, I feel like a better job than I was, especially when I first started doing YouTube. But I still got things to work on, but I don't know. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Oh, and that's not even to consider the fact that every time a new troll situation happens, I decide to add new banned words for Nightbot. So basically, that same situation where they say those words, it can't be said again because I banned them. I used Nightbot. I also put the banned words on the YouTube blocked list along with the Twitch blocked list. So basically, every time a troll happens, there's progress being made with the community getting better and better at moderation. So I guess that's one thing to look forward to. Anyway, trolls, stop. Why waste everyone's time? Please stop. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this vlog video. I kind of want to do more of these vlog videos. I have another idea for a vlog video I've been meaning to do. I don't know when I'll do it, but maybe soon. I don't know. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, play some Xenoblade, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace. Bye, everyone.